Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified, the San Diego Comic-Con 2025 exclusive, the Cold Slither pack. And yes, there are 4 figures in here. We're going to be looking at them, but we're also going to be taking an extensive Enterprises. This is Extensive Enterprises. Look at the packaging and everything. Now, this is one that sold out in less than 1 minute. It made a lot of people mad, which doesn't make me, which I don't understand, because people said, I don't want that. I don't want that. That doesn't matter. Then why were people so mad that it sold out? Because they wanted it. Well, depending on when you're watching this, this is going up again for pre-order. So hopefully everyone will be able to get it the same way that we were able to get Once a Man Cobra Commander and Nemesis Immortal and all those other wonderful exclusive figures that they've done. But anyway, we're going to take a look at this. Like I said, I'm going to get pretty deep into showing off all the sides, maybe pointing out some of the Easter eggs that you and I are both going to find out together. So anyway, let's get into this. I don't really want to look at this anymore. I want to get the whole video. So this might be a little bit longer than normal because there is 4 figures and a lot of stuff going on here. I did not grab the other Dreadnoks. I don't think there's a real reason for how much time I'm going to spend on this. But quickly, we'll just look here. And we'll say right at the top, it says, Hello, Governor, which comes from one of the cartoons. So anyway, there's the top of it, and there's everything else. And once again, it is 163. It has the slip cover. Everything's the same. But anyway, let's get into this, because I'm excited. I want to get it open, because I got 4 new figures, and then I got to do some pictures and do all kinds of stuff. So anyway, before we do, if you like this type of content, you like thorough reviews and thorough breakdowns, at least the best that I can do from my channel, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe Classified review. All right, let's get into this. And again, I have barely gone over this. So we have this slip cover that's going to come off, all right? And as you can see, it says Cobra, Dreadnoks, Cold Slither, G.I. Joe Classified. All right, we want to get rid of this because, once again, lots and lots of art and Easter eggs. But first off, we're just going to open this up here so you can kind of look at everything that's here. So what we're going to have here is we have our Zartan. We have our Buzzer with the wonderful drum set. We do have Ripper right here with his guitar. And then over on this side, we have Torch with his guitar. And again, I know a lot of people were kind of excited because, well, not excited, but like perfect timing. You know, Ozzy Osbourne passes away. Then this comes out, and I know a lot of people kind of equated it with it. So looking at it, you have Ripper, Zartan, Buzzer, Torch. You have the speakers on the side. You got this wonderful art here or design, then all these snakes, right? Long live Cobra. All right, but this isn't really what you care for, right? Although if you look in the back here, and we'll try and get to that there, you can see a big Cobra symbol in the back here. Again, I think once I have to open all this stuff up, we'll do that. Let's look at this. So here we go. We have the Springfield Theater Extensive Enterprises presents Cold Slither Band of Vipers World Tour. So quickly here, as you can see, we have Zartan working the ticket booth. All right, we got Colton's Place at the bottom, which I'm assuming is a reference to Joe Colton, possibly. We have Extensive Enterprises right there, so you can see the Crimson Twins. Over on that side, I can't really see what that is. I don't think that's anything. Over here, we have the Dreadnoks logo over the G.I. Joe logo. Is that a trouble bubble? I think that's a trouble bubble. We have the Dreadnoks and the Iron Grenadier. There we have Destro's. We have another Cobra logo over the G.I. Joe logo. All right. What is that? That looks like a Grim Reaper. We got Mars right there. And I'm not sure what that is. Again, anything I missed, please tell me. There's your Cobra logo right there. Now hiring at the Red Rocket. All right, which if I look at that there, it's just exactly that, a Red Rocket. All right. Winkin was here. I don't remember that reference. Here we have the Misfits from Gem and the Holograms. We have Torch's Blowtorch, just kind of left right there. And then we have his motorcycle over on this side. We have Gem and the Holograms. All right, one night only. Makes me wonder, are we going to get a pack like this in G.I. Joe Classified of Gem? It's hard to say that we will. Buzzer. And then we have Buzzer's motorcycle, because we see his chainsaw left right there. Right here we have Average Joe's, which is broken. And if you look there, you have all the different dates of specific places. Ending at San Diego Comic-Con, 7/26 is when this was available. So you have Springfield, you have Fort, yeah, I forget. I don't know what that is, Fort something. But these all have something to do with G.I. Joe for the most part. 63 right there. There we have Ripper's Jaws of Life. And it does say Ripper right there, and obviously his band gear. It looks like a mad ball right there. Cold Slither Forever. On the back here, we're going to take a look, and we have the Dreadnoks here. Dreadnoks on the awning right there. That's kind of being ripped down. I'm not sure what that is. But do we have Gigi? There we have the cinder block from Road Pig. That looks like it says, like, collect them all. It looks like that's a file card and a cross cell, which I think is actually pretty damn cool. It looks like it was probably ripped from a comic page, maybe. All right, and then down there, just some boxes. I don't see anything that stands out, but if you do, please let me know. Right here, all right, we got Cold Slither here, Ripper. There we have Monkey Wrench, who we don't have just yet, unless if your name is Adam Shark Eyes. He has his review up, so go check it out. All right. And like so that was a Grim Reaper that we were looking at. Too late to resist us, because Cobra is strong. You gotta love that. And then we have, I can't think of his name. The dude's monkey. I can't think of his name. Along with his pit bull. Is that his pit bull? That has a speaker on him? Like, that's actually kind of weird. So I believe that right there, that is Raucous. But I can't think of I don't know why I can't think of his name. Not the monkey, but the person it comes with. So you have Dreadnoks the enemy. There is Zartan's rifle there. G.I. Joe, Iron Grenadiers. Again, all kinds of Easter eggs mixed into it. I know a lot of people that may have already seen this. And if you have, just skip ahead, right? And then here we have Cold Slither. And this one is really cool. We have Enterprise City, Cobra Island, Broca Beach, the Himalayas, Springfield, and San Diego. And right there, how does that work together? That is the pit, I believe, or at least what's supposed to be the pit. There is Duke on a dartboard. There's Zartan's mask. All right, and there's some comic covers, including probably the most iconic G.I. Joe, the silent issue, silent interlude, right there. So this is awesome. And again, just looking at all this stuff, there's so much that they popped in here. And once again, I can show you here where it says, "Hello, Governor." I don't notice anything else, but I have a feeling maybe some other people will be checking it out. If there's maybe some other Easter eggs, maybe some things I missed. Nothing on the bottom. So anyway, let's get these figures out and do our review, and then you guys can move on. But I hope I kind of gave you guys a good breakdown of everything here, so you can kind of see what was given to us. All right, let's get to this. And as many of you already know, I like to look at the accessories first. So we'll start off with this amazing drum kit. So, and yes, I will I will mention the elephant in the room. Why there is no microphone, I don't know. I feel like it would have been easy to find one, but unfortunately they didn't do that. So what we do have here is the seat. Everyone was like, they better have a seat for the drum set. So here we go. His seat, got some detail right there. It looks like it's meant to fold up and can probably move up and down. It does rotate, as this thing probably does come right off. So you can use it probably as a weapon. But it even looks like it has little buttons there, so you can use the hydraulics to go up and down. But the detail on it's really good, and if you look, it does look like it's actually leather. So this is pretty cool. Again, gotta love what they're doing here. We have our foot pedal. All right, and of course they did put it white up top there. And it just is going to sit just like this. This is what he's going to be playing. Now, if he had one arm, he'd have to have a few of these, I believe. If you know the reference, you know it. But you have your pedal right there. It just kind of sits right there. A little bit of a, little feet right there. Again, and this is going to be banging against this bad boy. So, nice detail. Looks fun. All right, we have one drum right here. I don't think any of this moves, so it kind of be hard. Oh, look at that. It actually comes off. So you can break it down. So if you don't want to put it back into, the box and you're worried you don't want to break any of the legs, it looks like this stuff all does come off. So very modular. A matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised when we were trying to count out, how many pieces. I bet these all count as separate pieces. And that's probably where they got the amount of pieces, as this probably is not considered one. So anyway, there's the top of your drum. Some detail right there. It looks good. On the bottom, it's just silver. We have this one here. And again, this one also comes off. So again, you can mix and match, do whatever you want. All right, the white drum on the top there. Here's where it's held together. It has the key or whatever it is, so you can tighten it and loosen it into whatever angle you want it to be. But again, the detail on it, again, not a lot of paint, but that is perfectly fine, as there's a lot of stuff in this. If you wanted this to be more than 125, then you get all the paint on it. Here we have one of the cymbals, and again, it comes off. So probably each one of these is probably considered a different piece. Now this doesn't come off, which is actually kind of shocking. It's actually kind of shocking. So here's your cymbal at the top. Is meant so they can tighten it. He's going to bang against it there. Again, there's your knob, so you can tighten and heighten everything right there. Again, same feet. Looks pretty good. And then we obviously have the smaller one. All right, so this one here is he's going to bang against. This actually moves up and down. Now they don't allow it to, but it does come off, so you can move it around as you want it. They also drum against it, but you can see the tightening dial right there, right here, so you can change the height of it. Again, pretty cool. And okay, this does turn. All right, so this does turn because you obviously don't want it right against there. All right, and they are different. So they didn't reuse the same mold. And again, I don't know how often they can use this. Here is the Cold Slither drum set. And again, all these different... Again, I'd have to count out the pieces they said that it was. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's how they decided to make it work. Now, looking here, it's just got a little bit of triangle that does peg right into it, like so. And then just, so you can change it around any way you want. Maybe your drummer, maybe you change it around. Maybe your favorite drummer uses a kit that's very similar. Lenny talked about what he did. So anyway, again, looks the exact same right there. All right, so all the drum, it works together. Here's the legs to hold it sturdy. And on the front, we have Cold Slither. And then you do have your opening, so the sound can come out. Your snake right there. All right, so there we go. That is everything that comes with Buzzer. Now, we'll quickly look at Buzzer, and we'll kind of go in order here. So he has 2 drumsticks, and and they do have the tip right there, so they are meant to be actual drumsticks. And then we look at our buzzer here, and he does have removable glasses and some really, really disgusting kind of teeth. I guess they don't look bad. Like, the teeth don't look as bad as they're made to look. Very angry eyes. He is drumming. Got the big giant mohawk. All right, and the ponytail in the back with that little bit of paint right there. All right, now I believe this was already used. Again, there's going to be some reuse, not a lot. And then he's got the pearl necklace. But you look at those eyes, the eyebrow, the forehead and the wrinkles throughout it, okay? The teeth and the gap right there. You got this wonderful, wonderful jean jacket on. So you got the nice pocket right there. You can see what the jean looks like. The denim kind of just flowing through it on both sides. He's got the snake tattoo on this side. Nothing there. And on the back, Cold Slither. He's got the spiked belt right there that says Cold Slither. Again, you can only use this for so many things, right? Nothing right here on the pants or anything. So his crotch, his pants, just very plain. And he's got the tassels around the boots. And then he's got the regular boots here. They're just kind of wrapped over. You don't see anything. I think these are called tinker boots. As for his articulation, he can look down and he can not really look up, side to side, back and forth. There's his T-pose. All right. Bicep swivel, pinless double joints, very smooth. I forgot to point out his wristbands that he does have on. All right. So they're gonna have all they're gonna have the major same articulation. He does have butterfly joints, which aren't going to be useful due to this for one thing and how they're made. There's his ab crunch, so he can look up and down, side to side. There's his amazing Jean-Claude Van Damme drop down hips. There's your thigh swivel right there. This figure is super smooth. Knee joint, boot cut, and ankle rockers, all right? And then looking at his glasses here, they are those ones that are going to completely cover his eyes. They are clear. They are fairly sturdy, okay? They actually feel really, really nice. And once we kind of pop them on, I think they're going to stay on. And you can see his eyes through it, so that looks amazing. All right. Next, we're going to take a look at Ripper. Now, the one thing they did give us was 2 extra straps. Yes, if they break or you lose them or you want a different color. All right, very pliable. This is orange. This just kind of plugs right into the guitars and the keytar. All right, so there you go. Looks decent. Not too much to say about that. We'll pop this off here. And we'll look at the first guitar. Again, this is going to be a long video, so bear with me. All right, so right on the bottom, right on the back, you can see exactly how it sets. All right, and these do come off. So you can change the color out if you want to. Looking at the guitar, it's kind of got like the rip stripes. A lot like Wolverine. All right. How many strings does that have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 string guitar. I guess I could count it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. A couple dials. There's the wah-wah, whatever. It's not a wah-wah pedal, but that's actually to really make different noises throughout it. But it definitely looks cool. They did a good job recreating the color. It is pliable, but it is sturdy, all right? Maybe this is supposed to be a little bit straighter, but you're not going to notice on the angles that we're having it at. That's for sure. As for our Ripper, I'm assuming his glasses... Now his glasses, I don't think come off. If you're able to get them off, let me know. I really don't want to stress with them. But underneath it, you can see the eyes are painted. So at one time they weren't on there. I'm assuming they're probably put in just with pressure. I really don't want to take them off because I'd rather not lose them. So they are the rectangle glasses. He's got a wonderful beard, awesome mustache. You can see his lips throughout it. All right. Awesome hair, kind of just flowing back, and all the design on it, once again, gives it a very realistic feel that I've talked about numerous times. We get to his vest here, and it has those little, they're not changed, but they just have leather straps to hold it together. But it does look good. It has that leather look to it. No Cold Slither on the back of his. As for his tattoos, we have the Grim Reaper right there. This is supposed to go up for his Ultimate Warrior bicep pose. Got some nice veins popping through here. Looks like he has the same bracelet, so I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of reuse between the 4 of these. All right. Over on this side, we got the it's kind of like, I thought it was the Warthog, but it's not. It actually kind of looks like that crazy wrestler that used to eat the worm. I can't think of his name. Someone will tell me in the comments. But whatever that is, it does look pretty cool. We'll push this band back up here. So this band has spikes on it. This band has nothing. Then he has a claw kind of ripping through. That's on his forearm. And he does have an ab crunch right there. Then he has his, these are different pants. So he just has a regular belt buckle there. They are tied right there. He has a bandana just hanging down from there. Probably the same legs as Buzzer here. It looks like maybe they're the same legs. But they do have the stripes. Again, this is very, very, very hair metal 80s. Bandanas around the boots. Looks like the same boots, this tanker style boots. All right, so everything looks pretty good there for sure. All right, as for his articulation, he can look down like that, and he can look straight. T-pose, bicep swivel. We're gonna go through this pretty quickly. Very smooth, very, very smooth right there. All right, so there's your double pinless elbows. Ab crunch, he can move down, he can move up, side to side. There's his amazing Jean-Claude Van Damme, the same as that guy right there. Drop down hips, thigh swivel, double pinless knees. You got your boot cut. Again, exact same articulation as this guy. Now we want to throw his guitar on him. And this is going to be fun figuring out how I'm going to make them look like they're playing. There's really only, well, actually there's a lot of different poses that you can make, right? So, there you go. Kind of open this hand up here. Throw it up like that. And he is playing, right? They should have made some pick hands. That's what they should have done. They could have gotten away with 2 of them. All right. On to Torch. My favorite Dreadnought. I'm going to pop this off. And here's his keytar. Now, this one is much straighter. And you got the flames, which, I mean, again, makes sense that it is. Oh, that makes sense. This is ripped up like Ripper. Should have thought of that. This has flames on like Torch. This is the keytar. So basically, he's playing a keyboard as a guitar. You have your equalizers, your sound effects right there. This is what looks like the speakers. All your different keys on both sides. This thing looks so stupid that it's awesome. It should have had, they talked about having a port for blast effects. Maybe to have a little fire flame. That would have been kind of cool. But you've got some dials right there. Again, this thing does come off. So, a lot of fun here. Again, I know a lot of people are like, I don't care, this is in my G.I. Joe. Then, hey, you know, you didn't have to buy it. You didn't have to worry about it being sold out in less than 1 minute. All right. There he is. That is Torch's face. He's got that grimacing look on his face. I mean, dude, if you play the guitar, you have to be a badass. Glasses are molded on, which I don't really care. I'm never going to remove them. He's got his bandana. Nice hair that's just kind of flowing all the way over. Then he's got his big chops right here. This mustache, as I kind of pointed out already. when you look at this guy, he's the bare bones, it seems. An arrow pointing down. I wonder what it's supposed to be pointing at, guys. I can only imagine. Nothing on the back. So once again, there it is. It's just a regular, just a regular t-shirt, or not a t-shirt, a sleeveless shirt, a wife beater. Here's some different gauntlets that he's kind of wearing, or part of his, I think it's part of his gloves, or maybe it's separate. But they are supposed to have like little spikes on it. They're balls. Maybe they're not spikes, they're little balls right there. When we get down to his belt, you can see the belt loops, which I think looks awesome. And then you can see the belt buckle, which probably says Cold Slither. Am I right? Yes, it does. Cold Slither. I love the fact that you can see the holes of how it's going to line up. Same pants for the most part, or same legs, shall I say. All right, they're all in spandex. But they did make different waist pieces for everyone. So then we get down to the boots. And I know these are reuse of boots. I don't think they're the same boots. Oh, wait, these are the same. Yep, these are all the same boots. So a lot of reuse in this set, but let's be honest, this is something very, I guess I would consider it special for the most part. But I like the gray. You have the red, and then you have the black. All right. This here, I love the fact that it's painted, so I can see the actual belt buckle on it. Again, it has the little shin guards right there. Again, a lot of fun. This thing's going to slide right on up here. And we have to make him playing the guitar like no. Ooh, he is. That's weird. He has really, really tight hands. And there we go. He's going to guitar his heart out. I mean, come on. Who doesn't guitar their heart out? And then we get to the leader, the lead singer with no microphone. That's how loud he speaks. Zartan, the master of disguise. And tell me this is not a disguise, right? All right. So here's his guitar. Once again, it pops right off. So you can change it with different ones. Again, I don't really know why they did that, but that's what they did. All right. So looking here, you have the green effect, yellow, green. Is this the same? It's a completely different guitar. So you got your dials that you can change. As a matter of fact, this is not a guitar. This is the bass, right? 4 strings, it makes it a bass. So this is a bass guitar, which a lot of singers, they play the bass because I believe, don't get mad at me, bassists, but bass is usually considered the easier of most of the instruments to play. Maybe not as easy as the guitar. I don't know. So you have your dials right there. The look of it, Lenny talked about exactly what it is. I can't get into that. But again, I like that you can see the strings. They're actually painted. It just strolls right through. Again, this thing is pretty cool. This whole set is something different. And this is exactly what a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive should be. So here we have his wig, because let's be honest, Zartan doesn't have hair. As you can see, this looks pretty good as it's kind of flowing down. It's all ratted out. I mean, this guy is a cock rocker. I mean, a hair metalist. He still has the same, he has the same makeup. So they didn't do, I'm trying to look. The eyes look like they have a green tint to it. So they're very dark, but that green is a little different. Lips have a little bit of paint right here. You can kind of see the shrugged up looking forehead. We get down to his vest, which is going to be buttoned right at the bottom here. So he's showing off his wonderfully sculpted chest. Nothing on the back, though they do have a hole right there. So if you want to put a backpack on, they do allow you to put a backpack on. I kind of forgot to point that out. All right. His arms, the exact same as these guys, along with the same piece right here. So they're all wearing the same bracelet other than our torch. Get down to the belt buckle. All right, that looks pretty good there, but he is wearing a different type of, or a separate belt. And it's just one of those, again, hair metal, something that you'd see. He also has the laces holding up his spandex, which is the same thing he had here. So this is molded on after. So these are the same molds, only they went and put different design on this. They added that. So for the most part, they designed the same. They just added a little bit, probably in the 3D design. Same legs, and then the exact same boots, just all black. So all in all, this thing looks awesome. As for his articulation, he cannot look up. He can look down that far. He has a T-pose. This figure is really, really smooth, like the rest of them. There you go, bicep swivel, pinless double elbows. He has butterfly joints. He can't use the butterfly joints because they don't really work. Ab crunch, which actually works pretty good, shockingly. All right, turn side to side. Probably the best Jean-Claude Van Damme I've ever seen on an action figure. All of these, they're the same. Drop down hips. Here's your thigh swivel, pinless double knees. What's the other thing called? Boot cut, ankle rockers, and you know the rest. The other thing that we need to look at quickly is, where was it made at? Made in China. So these were still being made in China, not at the Vietnamese plant. So I know some of you aren't happy that things are being made in Vietnam. Again, Vietnam was a long time ago. I'm surprised some of you are still mad, but hey, that's like, now his hands aren't. It's the black that makes his hands really tight. I believe it was Torch. So anyway, there's Zartan, and he is playing his guitar. He plays love songs on his guitar. Do you know where that reference is from? I play love songs on my guitar. Anyway, there you go. Now what we want to do is quickly, we got to get this guy. You know, we'll leave those off. We got to get him sitting. He's got to have his drumsticks. Now his hands are tight, right? So they can hold them. You can see I'm kind of pushing on it. They will move, obviously, but I can hold them up like this. All right. This one's going to be very interesting to do. So you can sit like this. How well does he sit? Not a problem at all. We can throw that right there. Gonna move this up here. So then we can take this thing right here. And we're gonna have to put this, push that foot up. Look at that. And it's banging against it. He can be here. He might have to be forward a little. I gotta say, if you know who this is, I know I talked about his teeth, and I don't really mean anything bad with the teeth, but if you're watching it and you're still here, it kind of looks like Zakanin. Just saying, all right? Kind of gives me that Zakanin vibe. So if you know who Zakanin is, hit him up. If you're still watching this, and you're like, dude, you know what? You're damn right. That looks like Zakanin. Congratulations. You also now have a G.I. Joe action figure. But you guys spent $125. I had to pay $25 to get my version. All right. And I'm just messing around with this because I really don't know how drums are supposed to be set up. I'm going to have to do some playing around and figure this out. But either way, there you go. That is your Cold Slither review. Let's be honest, these guys don't sit in the back. Especially not Zartan. I need to get a microphone. Who has a microphone? Send me a microphone. I need a microphone. Or where can I go buy one? There you go. Cold Slither, the Dreadnoks, the Viper Tor. All right, so there you go. That is your Cold Slither. Get this out of my way. I don't need you. That is our Cold Slither review. This is what an exclusive should be. These are figures that none of us need, right? Honest to God, no one really cared about Cold Slither. I don't care who you are. No one was. There were very few people in this world that were like, "Hey, that's the greatest G.I. Joe episode ever." No. But they gave this to you, and to me, this is exactly what these exclusives should be. If I didn't get this, I would have been disappointed. But does it matter in the end? No, because these are not your basic mainline G.I. Joes, right? And again, I'm not going to keep grabbing all of them. Hey, small little hands. I'm like 5'4" on a good day. Anyway, this is it, man. This is Cold Slither. Now, I got to go do some pictures. All right? Because, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to do a thumbnail. I got to do some other pictures. I got to have Zartan playing. And I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm rambling about. I'm rambling on. Well, go figure. Monday Night for Ramblings. That's what I do. So anyway, there you go. These things are going up on pre-order in, I don't know, maybe either tomorrow or today, depending on when I decide to drop this. Or maybe it's in the past. They're on pre-order. But I kind of gave you an idea what you're going to get if you decide to go ahead, get this. You want to get it aftermarket. If you want away from Hasbro Pulse, it's up to you. They do feel really good. They're very smooth. I don't think you're going to have any problem posing them. You don't need stands, because stands are what, people? Stupid. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for staying this long. I appreciate it. But please, if you haven't yet, take a second. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe Classified review. Now, don't go anywhere. You're like, I've never seen you before, but man, oh man, do you do awesome reviews. I really don't. Please, up here, I'm going to leave another review that maybe you haven't seen, or maybe you have. And down here will be a playlist of all the G.I. Joe Classified reviews that I've done, which is every single one of them that's come through my hand, which is every single one of them so far that has been available. Take care.